To begin with, the 26-degree number, there's a public health reason why we want to achieve that, correct?
The short answer is yes.
And it's not just because that's comfortable, it's because lives are on the line.
That's correct.
In fact, I'm going to forget the year, but it was something like 2015, 2016, Toronto Public Health, through its Environmental Protection Office and the Office of Emergency Management, did a modeling exercise of what would happen if we had a sustained period of high temperatures. And they found, if I remember this quite vividly, that there would be 100,000 people at serious risk of life or life-altering effects from that heat wave. Is that your memory too?
Through the chair, I can't speak to the specific, but our work from climate change and looking at the impacts of extreme heat would track towards that type of impact, correct?
So we also know, since I've got you on the floor, that the likelihood of extended periods of hot weather and the degree of that hot weather are going to be increasing as the world's climate changes.
Through the chair, that's correct. We actually released a report last week updating climate projections for the City of Toronto that identified that days above 30 degrees had increased since kind of the baseline period we looked at, 1971 to 2000, and will continue to increase at a fairly rapid pace based on the current global projections or trajectory for climate change.
So it's not a matter of if we're going to have a moment when 100,000 people's lives are at risk, it's when we're going to have a moment when 100,000 people's lives at risk, and that's becoming increasingly soon.
Through the chair, our modeling does show that the increased probability of significant heat events will increase over time and are already increasing based on kind of more recent history.
Okay, going back to the enforcement question, it's pretty standard across many enforcement domains that we establish a regulatory standard and then try to work with individuals to achieve compliance. That's our standard practice for everything we do.
That's correct. It's important that we are clear and we articulate a number which is that allows people to understand the rules and to follow those rules. Is it going to be a challenge to enforce? Is it going to be a challenge to enact? Yes. So
in summary, we know that a very large number of Torontonians are at risk. We've achieved health advice that 26 is the temperature that we have to achieve. We know we're going to have to get to compliance. We're putting a flag in the ground saying this is the number you're going to have to achieve. Now we're going to get to work on the mix of regulations and incentives and supports to get there.
Through the Speaker, that is correct. That is our plan, and that's what we're laying out here in today's report.
Additionally, when this came to committee, and I think also in your earlier consultations, we talked to the Greater Toronto Apartment Association, which represents the majority of apartment owners in the City of Toronto, and they agree we have to get there.
So I don't recall Darrell's exact words, but I'm sure that they want to have clear standards, and they want to work with us and all of their partners to implement this.
Also, when we're doing the consultations, there are a number of people in civil society, the Canadian Environmental Law Association, the Seniors for Climate Action Network, and others who have been doing work on this. Will they be part of the community of interest that's consulted as we develop this work?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.